Have you ever dreamt about taking a cruise on one of them fancy boats, soaking up the beauty and the magic just to free your soul? It's floating on the ocean, just a notion that seems out of reach. One thing on your bucket list is just to go and see the beach. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but Helping Hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping Hands for cruising, Helping Hands for cruising, Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality.
You know you gotta do the things you've only dreamed about. Don't let anything stop you thinking you can't go all out. You can do the things you never thought were possible with Helping Hands to help you get there. Even oceans are no obstacle. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but Helping Hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping Hands for cruising, Helping Hands for cruising, Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality.
So if you ever dreamed about taking a cruise in one of them big old boats, soaking up that sun, feel that breeze, yeah, there is still hope. Don't let the ocean be an ocean that is out of reach. Let's get together, help each other, and go see the sea. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You've got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but Helping Hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping Hands for cruising, Helping Hands for cruising, Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality. Helping Hands for cruising, Helping Hands for cruising, Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality.
G'day folks, welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. First in the chat, well, we've got Young Joe. G'day mate, how you going? Hope you've been having some good weather. Currently 24 degrees with 64% humidity. How you guys been going? Have you been swimming? Have you been flooded like we've had some flooding down here? Hope everything's going well. Well, today is Tuesday the 9th of January. Can you believe the 9th already? We've gone through 9 days of 2024. You know what? It won't be long before we'll be looking back and going, my God, we've just gone through 2024 like a rocket. It's Christmas already. Well, it is what it is, folks. Keeping you informed, giving you an update. This weekend, the Helping Hands for Cruising board got together and we discussed a number of things. First of all, one of the things we discussed is some fundraising ideas, ways of us being able to get some dollars into the coffers so that we can get some more people on board a cruise ship. One of the things that we did discuss was on February the 9th and 10th, we're having another Cruise-a-Thon. And the benefit to that Cruise-a-Thon is that we will be trying to go for our standard goal, $10,000 for the weekend. And so we're going to have some people representing, running an hour slot. And with that hour slot, they will be able to do whatever they want to do within their hour, but we're asking them, please contribute, get some people contributing to Helping Hands for Cruising. So whatever you choose to do, it's up to you. Joe is saying that Dubbo now is 28.8 degrees C, feels like 31. That's warm. Northerly wind, that's warm, at 1 kilometre gusts to 13 and 62% humidity. Ugh, yuck. There we go. Humid and hot. That's not a good mix. Along with the wind. You've had 1.8 millimeters of rain since 9 a.m. Well, at least it's keeping the ground wet so that you can start to grow some stuff. Hope it doesn't get too much higher, otherwise you're doing backstroke. Joe's also saying that the wind is a northerly 11 kilometer gusting to 13. Oh, that's what you said 1k, but you actually mean 11k. Well, that's pretty windy too, but at least the wind keeps you a bit cooler. So, come up with some ideas, folks, of what you'd like to do if you were a presenter on the Helping Hands for Cruise-a-Thon. And so we'd love to have as many people on board as possible, which means that we'd be able to make some good dollars. So there you go. Joe saying Parks is going to be warm, 34 on Saturday. Oh yeah. It's this weekend that you've got the Elvis Festival, isn't it? This weekend? Hope so. Anyway, one of the other things that was brought up was the concept of a membership. And the benefit to the membership, well, we're busy putting together some ideas so that you guys can enjoy the benefits of being a member of Helping Hands for Cruising, and also it gives you the opportunity to assist on a group cruise that has a Helping Hands for Cruising recipient should you decide to go on that cruise. So it'll be beneficial all round. Joe's saying that correct, starting tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning is the Elvis Festival. I know you're looking forward to it, mate. I just can't wait to see the Elvis look with the slick back hair and the whatever else you bring along with it. I got some decent stuff today. None of that other stuff that those Yanks are talking about. So cheers, mate. Here's to you having a great festival. There we go. Furphy's always great. So that's some of the pointers so far. One of the things that we were discussing was the rock and roll group cruise. And yeah, folks, still waiting on some final stuff to come on in. Good on you, Joe. We'll see you soon. Just waiting on some final information to come on in before we kick off with the rock and roll group cruise. But giving you some dates and numbers and so forth. We are currently sitting on 285 days to this particular cruise. Let me get this up. That's going to be one awesome cruise, let me tell you. Going on the Lime, what do they call it? The Lime Amethyst Hazes group cruise. That's going to be awesome. There's already a recipient on board for that one. That's Roxanne. And so that's going to be an absolutely amazing cruise. It is rather auspicious because that cruise works up to being 2 years after our inaugural, so that'll be really, really exciting. We've got in... the phone's playing up. Seriously. Shoot the phone. That's all I'm going to say. So that's Amy's cruise in 285 days, and it's going to be absolutely awesome. Do you know there are 351 days to go? Yep. Christmas is in 351 days. The landline is playing up. So, is it one of those that is on the NBN? So, is it actually a digital phone, or is it the old analog? All right, 357 days to go, folks. 357. Ordinarily, it would be 356, but this year is it's a leap year. That's correct. So 357 days to go to New Year's Eve. And then we are followed very, very closely with 359 days to go to the Ducks Cruise. And the Ducks Cruise is proving to be an exciting one because we're getting people coming in from all around the world. We'll be jumping on in Sydney on the Celebrity Edge, heading up to the South Pacific, checking out Fiji, Vanuatu and New Caledonia, back into Sydney, and that's a 14-nighter, 15-dayer. An exciting opportunity. Then comes the bucket list cruise for a lot of people, us included. 522 days. That takes it to the 15th of June, 2025. Where Ocean to Ocean, Bruce from Ocean to Ocean, will be taking a group of people from Seattle all the way up through to Alaska on the Norwegian Encore. So that's going to be an exciting cruise. Until round about 680-ish days, 89, somewhere around there, we'll be jumping on the Rock and Roll Cruise. Now, we still, as I said before, we're still not sure what ship it is. But hey, as soon as we can get on it, as soon as we get more info, we will be able to feed it through. Joe is saying we're on fixed wireless on the NBN. We're still on our copper line service. Copper line, seriously. Fixed wireless. Who's your provider? Because the copper line is becoming a bit of an issue these days. So the question is, who's your provider, mate? Is it Telstra or is it somebody else? Who's the other person in here? It is moi. I have myself up on the list, and then there's one other. The T word. That's almost as bad as Voldemort. The T word. Yeah, well, that's an interesting one. Telstra. Yeah. So that's interesting. Well, yes. The second person in here at the moment is moi. Only because I'm checking some of the chat on the YouTube just to make sure the live is coming through okay. So that's who the other person is. I know that most people will actually watch this on the replay. So there we go. There will be a group coming in on the replay and having a look, which is awesome. I'm not talking to myself or the trees. I would love a bucket load more people coming in, but hey, it is what it is, and so we've got to build some more content, some more info. Anyway, Joe is saying they're really good at getting techs in to fix the problem. The question is, why are you wireless? All right, so let's have a look. So, so we're just waiting on info on the rock and roll, and then we will be putting that out to you. We're looking at trying to fill at least over 200 cabins, which would be extremely awesome. From what I understand, we're going to have some really good music. How it's going to be put around, I'm not exactly sure. Anyway, first things first. What's first, mate? Is it getting the stubby out, or whatever? Yep, I'm drinking. More than 5 kilometres from the local Telstra phone exchange. So they use wireless instead to get you to the... Okay. That makes sense. Wireless is tending to be not too bad, but what some people are doing is they're using things like Starlink and putting their telephony off the Starlink system, and I seem to think that's not a bad idea. We don't have any landline. All our equipment is on the NBN, so we have telephony on our NBN, and it just means that you can carry it around with you wherever you go. Same phone number, don't have to change a thing. Joe is saying they had two options, fixed wireless or satellite. So you obviously went for the fixed wireless. Okay. So, latest news is that the Royal Caribbean Icon of the Seas is expected into round about the Miami area fairly soon. What that means is that some of the bigger new ships are going down to the US, which means we might get some of the older, newer leftovers. For example, the Celebrity Edge is the first Edge class, and that's down here at the moment. So there's some exciting stuff going on there with newer ships come on in. Joe is saying, two of my neighbours run Starlink. They love it. One of them runs 172 megabits per second down. Mate, from what I hear, Starlink is absolutely incredible. So the good news is it's in low orbit, and so getting signal from it is pretty good. And there's so many of them up there that the failure rate is pretty minimal. So that's pretty good. What can I say? Okay, so so just to give you a heads up on what ships are in port, let's just have a look. In good old sunny Melbourne, ships that were in today. Well, we didn't have any ships in today, but we got the Seabourn Odyssey in tomorrow. Hang on a sec, let me see. Oh yeah, the Silver Whisper is also in tomorrow. On Thursday we've got the Pacific Explorer, and also Queen Elizabeth is on Friday. The Norwegian Spirit is on Saturday, and then the Explorer is back in on Monday again. Nordam on Monday as well, Holland America. And then we've got the Seven Seas Explorer in on Tuesday. So there we go. That's a week. Now, let me see. Joe is saying, by the way, I don't mind keeping you company. You're a swell guy. Mate, thank you very much for the compliment. I believe that you're a swell guy too. That's cool. Joe is also saying, I may do a live from on board the coach on the way to Parks. I will be unable to drop into your live on Saturday due to being away. Mate, that's cool. Put up a live and I'll come in and check you out. Hopefully it's at a time that I can actually come in and check you out. And I can keep you company on the trip. Maybe it's not that far, but anyway. All right, what was in Sydney today was Brilliance of the Seas. That was in Sydney, as well as the Europa. The Royal Princess is in tomorrow, as well as the Seven Seas Navigator, and the Europa as well. So what we'll have at White Bay, so Europa was at the Eden Cruise Wharf, and they're headed up to Sydney. So Royal Princess is at the passenger terminal, the Seven Seas Navigator is at White Bay, as well as the Europa. They'll also be at White Bay. Then on Thursday, the Carnival Splendor goes into the Overseas Passenger Terminal. On Friday, the Ovation of the Seas is at the passenger terminal, with the Disney Wonder also being at White Bay. And the Silver Whisper also being at the Eden Cruise Wharf. So that's doing trips up and back. Joe's saying doing the live is dependent on whether or not he has signal or not. And yes, he's correct. Hopefully you get signal. All right. Looking at the Brisbane port, Brisbane says that on the 11th, which is Thursday, on Thursday they're having the Coral Princess. And on Friday they'll have the Quantum of the Seas. Saturday is the Pacific Encounter, and Sunday is the Carnival Luminosa, and that's it for the week. So Brizzy is a touch on the quiet side. So ships will be going up and back, and so we'll see how that goes. Okay, so what more can I say from that point of view? We've just got shipping happening around, cruising happening around, and some of it is local. There's a limit to how many times I can do Melbourne, Sydney, and then it sort of does what it'll do, Sydney out to New Zealand or whatever. So there we go. We are going to be having some interesting cruising happening shortly, because the Australian Open, the Australian Open tennis will be playing towards the end of the month. And so P&O does a cruise, that's P&O Australia. They do a cruise which is basically an Australian cruise to nowhere. It comes from either Sydney or one of the others, sails into Melbourne and docks in Melbourne for the length of the Open, and then sails back up again. So it gives people an opportunity to have a look-see at Melbourne and also attend the tennis. You've got to be a bit of a tennis nut for it. So anyway, that's the Pacific Dawn usually does that. I don't know whether they've got any other ships organised for it. Well, g'day Rob, welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. How far is Brisbane from where? And what to do there in case I want to come one day? Well, Brisbane from me is about a 3-hour flight. It's roughly about 4,000 k's away from me, between 3 to 4,000 k's. So it's actually quite a distance. And what could you do there? There's plenty to do in Brizzy. Come on into Brisbane, have a look. There are the Commonwealth Games, not ruins, I won't call them ruins, but the Commonwealth Games buildings there. Flying's way quicker, Joe, you're quite right. There's also, the remnants of the Commonwealth Games facilities are there. Also, there's the Australia Zoo is not too far away from Brisbane, so you can jump on a coach which will take you down there, or a train which will take you down there. There's also some. The river itself is actually quite purdy. You can crisscross it all over the place. Joe, as Joe is saying, definitely go and have a look at South Bank. There are some good eateries and other stuff there. In fact, Brisbane is actually quite a pretty town. It is starting to become the third largest city in Australia. There's Sydney and Melbourne always have the rivalry, and then comes Brisbane, possibly Adelaide, and then Perth, or Perth, Adelaide again. There's a bit of rivalry there. Canberra is actually a small little dump. It's full of hot air. If you want a real dose of hot air, go to Canberra. It's the capital city of Australia, and all that's there is Parliament House. And it is, it's full of hot air. But if you want some really nice stuff, actually the Brisbane terminal is a brand new terminal. We say brand new because it was built. The Brisbane Port's got the key for the terminal 2 weeks before the shutdown. So the terminal did not actually open up until cruising started going post-pandemic. So there we go. Joe is saying hot air equals politicians. Yup. Like I said, there's plenty of hot air up in Canberra. The rest of the country seems to be relatively all right. Having said that, yeah, come on down, come pay us a visit. Canberra's also got an amazing military museum, war museum, and of course some of the galleries and so forth around Canberra are actually quite exquisite. Canberra is full of roundabouts, so it's very easy to get lost. Just go in a circle and you'll land up where you started. So there you are. For you, Rob, you might like that. You'll just keep on getting stuck in the roundabout and not knowing where to get off. Also, what else has Brisbane got? Brisbane's got a lot of ferries that go across backwards and forwards, so it's also worth your while having a look there. Also, not too far out of Brisbane is a place called the Gold Coast, and on the Gold Coast, you've got some of our theme parks. So, like you guys have Disney down south in the US, we've got Wet and Wild. We've got three good amusement parks, and they all have their own specialty, like Wet and Wild, and a couple of with names that pass me right now because I'm not thinking. But at the end of the day, there is plenty to see, plenty to do around the Brisbane area, and the Gold Coast and Brisbane are that close to each other now that you just jump down on the freeway and you're just straight down there. Between places. They've also got the Ripley's Believe It or Not on the Gold Coast, which is quite an awesome thing to go in and watch and see some people doing some silly things. Joe's saying that the Australian War Museum in Canberra is really good, as it is the National Museum of Australia. Yes, as is the National Museum of Australia. Yep, they are both extremely awesome. Great to view, great to watch, great to do. So there we go. Well, we've got 4 watching, so I don't know who number 4 is. We know who number 3 is, number 2 and number 1, but I don't know who number 4 is. Whoever they are, welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. Possibly Lana checking me out. And she's going to make some comments soon. Like, hurry up, shut up. Anyway, getting back to it, folks, if you are in the desire to donate, for those of you that are Aussie bound, don't hit that one because that one's for the Yanks. Whatever they do, if they use that QR code, it actually brings their payments up in USD, which is awesome. If you hit that one over there, that will give you the ability to donate in Aussie dollars. So we want as much money as we can get. So there we go. Oh, there you go. Thank you for that, Joe. You are awesome. Theme parks on the Gold Coast. SeaWorld, that's it, which is the major one. Wet and Wild, and Movie World, which is in Coomera. Paradise Country and Australian Outback Spectacular. Those are all some of the great theme parks that are available on the Gold Coast, and more opportunity for you to spend your spandoolies. We can do with... Well, we'd rather you spent the spandoolies on the Helping Hands for Cruising, because we're actually doing something good that's getting somebody on a cruise. So anyway, that's all from me for today, folks. As more news comes to hand, I will put some more out there. But right now, I'm just waffling on, and waffling's not a good thing right now. There we go. Joe is saying the easiest way to find Movie World is to look for the road to the Gold Coast, City, Marina, and Shipyard. And there you'll find Movie World. All right, so as I was saying, I'd just be waffling right now. So we want to get more and more people up. The more money we get, the more we'll be able to get people on board cruise ships. So let's get some more people on board cruise ships so that we will have a lot more content and be able to talk about it much easier. So folks, I want to thank you for coming in. Those who have donated, thank you for your donations. Those who are going to donate, I thank you for your donations. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. And folks, we'll talk to you tomorrow. So tomorrow at 8 p.m. Melbourne time, we will have the ducks. Thank you, Joe. We'll catch up with you mañana. We'll have the ducks channel, the ducks having a chat. And on Friday night, we have some special guests. That's Friday night Eastern on the US side. On the Australia side, it's Saturday Arvo at 2 p.m. Folks, we've got some special guests. If you're into cruise ships, if you're into cruising, well, this couple will be just what you want to hear from. I'm going to leave it a little bit of a surprise for you because tomorrow I will reveal who our special guests will be on Friday night. At any rate, folks, you have an awesome day, awesome evening, and we wish you lots and lots of fun. See you next time. Have a good day.
Have you ever dreamt about taking a cruise on one of them fancy boats, soaking up the beauty and the magic just to free your soul? It's floating on the ocean, just a notion that seems out of reach. One thing on your bucket list is just to go and see the beach. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but helping hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping hands for cruising, cruising. Helping hands for cruising, cruising. Helping hands for cruising, making your dream a reality.
You know you gotta do the things you've only dreamed about. Don't let anything stop you thinking you can't go all out. You can do the things you never thought were possible with helping hands to help you get there. Even oceans are no obstacle. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but helping hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping hands for cruising, cruising. Helping hands for cruising, cruising. Helping hands for cruising, making your dream a reality.
So if you ever dreamed about taking a cruise in one of them big old boats, soaking up that sun, feel that breeze, yeah, there is still hope. Don't let the ocean be a notion that is out of reach. Let's get together, help each other, and go see the sea. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You've got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but helping hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping hands